having a business, like, it's not just about making money, it's about having freedom, flexibility, time, choice. And that helps the environment, helps the planet, because you're reducing plastic, you're creating jobs, you're sharing wealth, all these different things.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So then,
and then
yeah, go ahead.
So I'll lead into the third point, and feel free if you've got any questions or anything to jump in. But the third part of my blueprint is to be creating automation. So using things like paid advertising, using things like automated systems, sales funnels, anything that can remove time and energy from you, take it into an automated system and give you your time and your freedom and your flexibility back. And the reason for that is because we don't want to be starting a business to basically replace a job with exactly the same amount of work or more work for a lot of businesses. We want to be starting a business that creates impact, makes money, and gives us our time, our flexibility, and our freedom back to go and spend it living on the beach with friends and family, or doing things impactful like conservation work and sustainability stuff, things that people are actually really passionate about but usually don't have the time to do that. So using automation, using systems to actually take off so much of that work is absolutely crucial for creating a freedom-based business. The fourth point is, and this one is something that a lot of people don't consider, and it's something that people maybe don't, it's actually the missing key for most people, and it's community and mentorship. Because with these two things, a business will grow exponentially. Without community,
Absolutely.
especially without mentorship, you're basically trying to do it lone wolf. And I tried lone wolfing it for those four or five businesses that I failed. And the reason that I failed is because I didn't have someone who had already done it, who I could just follow in the footsteps of. I was Googling how to do this. I was YouTubing how to build a website. I was like just trying to figure it all out by myself. And it's very, very, very difficult for people to actually build a successful business trying to put together free bits of information that they find online, because nobody gives the full information because they don't have time. Like, to build a business, you can't tell someone how to do that with just 3 bits of information. You have to follow a process and a system and a blueprint like we're talking about here. So that's what completely changed the game for me. Surrounding myself with like-minded business people, entrepreneurs, and mentors who I could actually just follow in the footsteps of. And that's why I do what I do now. That's why I built the Free Life Society. That's why we have this community, as well as all this whole blueprint, to give people that key that gives them the permission to just go all in, and the support and the support network that they can kind of lean into. So that's really important, community and mentorship. And then point number 5 is becoming an unshakable, unquestionable leader. When you step into leadership, that's when your business transforms, because you actually have to be a leader. You have to be a leader for yourself. You have to be a leader for your company. You have to be a leader for who your company impacts. And you have to basically just be a leader in all those areas of your life so that your business can grow. And so many people wait to step into leadership because they think they're not ready, or they're not qualified, or they're not a leader in quotation marks. But it's actually only when you choose to step into leadership that your business will actually thrive. And we have, because that's why a business runs. Like, we start a business, we become the CEO, we are naturally straight away, we are the leader. Like, we have no choice, because otherwise we need to hire a CEO who becomes the leader for us, and that's not really our company anymore. So stepping into leadership, leading yourself, leading your vision into the world through your business is crucial. So all of these things, these 5 things, if you have all of those mixed together, there's absolutely no way you can't build a successful business. It's impossible.
Absolutely. So social responsibility is one a big piece that I would like for you to expand on, because if it's possible to do good and make money at the same time, I'm a big supporter my girlfriend has with my Diamond movement. The name is Global Conscious Entrepreneur, where we encourage to all entrepreneurs out there that to meet in a sustainable path, that do good and make money at this, it can come together, and at the end of the day, the clients, the consumer are getting very savvy, and they are looking more at the blueprint of your product, at the blueprint of your service, what is the impact, what actually you stand by before they buy your product. So what is, do you think that that what would be the future of sustainable business and the social responsibility? Something that not many people talk about in the entrepreneurial world. We should talk about this, and also is very good for marketing, for customer appreciation. I did the research, and we find out that employees they prefer to get paid less if they find out that the company that they are working there is social responsible. And at the same time, we find out also that companies that do these practices, they have a large customer retention. So the clients are more engaging and bringing more clients referring to the business. Also, that the employees are even happy because they're going to work with a purpose in mind more than even how much they're making. Don't get me wrong, the money is important, but if a company shift and becomes social responsible, there is a lot of benefits that can that will come in terms of business. So why more companies are not taking this vision, more embracing this vision, which clearly make a lot of financial sense, and it's possible to do good and make money at the same time, correct?
Yeah, it's such a good point. And I think to answer your question, the reality is that so many people are building businesses, but they're stuck in an old paradigm of how business is built and what business means. They're stuck in this paradigm of like, in order to be successful in business, you need to tell people what they need to hear, and you just need to basically make your offer as valuable as possible. And that is simply not the case, because like you said, people will do anything when it feels aligned with them, when it makes sense to them in terms of their values and things like this. And we're in 2025 now, and people above all else value authenticity. They value true, authentic connection with the things they're partnering with. And that's why the most successful businesses right now, they don't just have an amazing offer and, you know, great systems and stuff like that. What they have is they have a movement. They have a movement that people resonate with at such a deep soul level that it makes absolutely no sense to not be working with that company. Whether that's a service or a product or whatever, people are not buying because of the product itself. They're buying because what that product stands for and what the community around that product
represents.
Yeah, what it represents, what impact is it making in the world? Is it just a product, or is it actually doing something of impact? And that's what one of my biggest values and missions is with what we do, is that we aren't just selling a product. We aren't just selling, you know, something that people can buy and do what they want with. They are buying into a mission that is bigger than themselves, bigger than, you know, what's going on in the planet right now, and it has the opportunity to actually create something that, you know, you'll get to the end of your life and you'll sit on your deathbed and you'll be like, do you know what? I'm really proud of myself. I'm really glad that happened, and I'm really glad that I went all in with that thing, because that's really what people want. They just want to know that they're going to get to the end of their life, not have regrets, and actually be part of something that was bigger than themselves, and not have wasted their life doing something that was not very impactful.
And it has to be a big transformation, because we come from, I mean, I presume you're a little bit like my age. So we come from the generation of wastes. I mean, when our parents, the generation of our parents, when we were kids, It was completely different generation. It was over design, products that were over design, and we can say that it was the generation of waste. We
Yeah.
we use and throw everything. However, some countries they have more difficult to catch up than others. I'm telling you because I travel a lot with the world and I see the difference. You see in UK. In UK, you go to a supermarket and oh my God, you have to come back because you forgot your bag. You know, you have this mindset. It's not about
Hmm.
that they charge you. It's about you already have intrinsic in your brain
Hmm.
that that go back and get the bag and you use that time to come back and because everybody's doing it, it's like a global culture. You actually look bad if you don't bring your own bag and buy a disposable bag to give you an idea. And
Hmm.
however, in US it's different. I see that in my opinion they're running a little bit behind compared with Europe in terms of this. You can find people that eat in plastic plates and throw them. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's very effective. You save a lot of time. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
I think that idea is fantastic. But can you imagine the waste that is accumulated if every day you're
Yeah.
using plastic cutlery and disposable plates?
Hmm.
But you go to every house and everybody's doing it. So I think that
Yeah.
some countries have to work a little bit more than others in, and I think it's also a cultural thing as well that
Hmm.
you have companies uh, where they consume that promote. For example, you have companies like Amazon that they solve a huge problem because everything you want you can have it straight away in a couple of days. However, with that huge benefit, it comes another issue, which is you see all those products that you're buying and buying and buying.
Hmm.
Eventually, where they're gonna end up when you don't need them anymore. And we're talking
Yeah.
about loads of products. So, but at the end of the day, it's the consumer responsibility to purchase this kind of products, and I think so. It's all about the mindset, like you said, because uh, what type of product we consume will determine the impact that we're gonna have in the planet. Correct?
Correct. And do you know also what influences those decisions to buy things like plastic waste and stuff like that? The thing that impacts people's decisions is not having choice because a lot of people buy those things because of necessity because they can't afford to buy things that are more that cost more money. So rather than buying, the plastic plates and chucking them away to save time, the reason people are doing that is because one, they don't have enough money to buy things like high quality plates where they can use them constantly all over and over again,
I
or
think they
even to
do. I think they do. They just don't want to spend the time washing up the plates.
exactly,
In my
exactly. And
opinion,
this
it's more about time. I mean, saying in US, in my opinion.
and this is the thing, right? So those plates can be washed, but who washes them? What about paying for a cleaner? People don't do that because they can't afford to pay for a cleaner every
You
single
agree? Yeah.
day. See what I mean? So now, because I have the time and the money and the flexibility, we have a cleaner and we have things that make our life easier by using that money and the freedom to not only buy higher quality food, so we buy like organic food that's pesticide free, we have to go to a market to get it. And normally people just don't have time for that because
And also, you
they're
create the job
working.
because you have created the job for that clinic, correct?
Yeah. So
You're being sustainable and then you generate the job.
yeah, you create a job. It's a tax write-off as well. You can run it through your business and it can become, a tax deductible thing. This is the amazing thing about business. Even just having a business gives you so many benefits that people don't realize, like tax write-offs and creating jobs for other people. Like we have staff that we pay and they live and work remotely around the world. It's amazing. So having a business, like it's not just about making money, it's about having freedom, flexibility, time, choice. And that in itself helps the environment, helps the planet, because you're reducing plastic, you're creating jobs, you're sharing wealth, all these different things.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.